Joining me now to discuss, Democratic Congressman Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. He serves on the House Oversight Committee. He will be among those questioning Postmaster General DeJoy at the hearing on Monday. Congressman, thanks for joining us. So DeJoy said today that ballots are going to be prioritized as first-class mail and that no further changes will take place before Election Day. Take a listen to part of what he said.
There has been no changes in any policies with regard to election mail for the 2020 election. I want to assure this committee and the American public that the Postal Service is fully capable and committed to delivering the nation's election mail securely and on time.
So, Congressman, based on what you heard today, are you satisfied that the Postal Service is doing all it can to facilitate this election?
Absolutely not. The fact that he would not commit to reversing the changes, reversing the damage that's already been done, is testament to the fact that we can't take him at his word fully. For instance, there are hundreds of mail sorting machines that have been decommissioned. Some people even claim that some of them have been destroyed. We want to know where they are and whether he will commit to putting them back in place. Same with the blue mailboxes. Hundreds and hundreds have been removed in his very short tenure of just a couple months being Postmaster General. Again, he will not commit to putting those back. And with regard to election mail, there was some policy change that was made. That's why your reporter found that documentation. We'd like reassurance that the policy change was reversed, and not only the ballots will receive first-class mail status, but the applications for the ballots do as well, which, as you know, most local election authorities are required before any receive a ballot in the first place.
You broke up a little bit. Just to clarify, you're saying not just the ballots would be first class, but you want the applications for ballots to receive first class. You had a little glitch there. So let me ask you, DeJoy insisted that mailboxes have been removed in past election years. He also said that none of the proposed post office closures were political in nature. Take a listen.
I confirm post office closures was not a directive I gave. That was around before I got here. There's a process to that. When I found out about it, and it had the reaction that we did, I've suspended that until after the election.
What's your response to that, Congressman?
Well, then put the mailboxes back. Put the mail sorting machines back. And also, very importantly, changes were made with regard to overtime rules such that service levels have not been restored, Jake. First-class mail has been left on the dock floors, on loading room floors, things that never happened in the past. I have received 1,612 calls, emails, and letters from my constituents who are outraged. Not the vote has been interfered with or will likely be interfered with if changes persist. But they're not receiving their medications. They haven't been receiving their payments and parcels or Social Security checks. I mean, this is a devastating set of changes that have been made, and nobody's tolerating it.
Obviously, any of the slowdowns are horrible and need to be fixed. DeJoy did say in his testimony today that the changes that are being made in terms of post office mailboxes being removed and such are meant to improve the service to the American people. And you know that it has happened in the past that mailboxes have been removed.
Sure. You can ask my constituents whether they feel that service has improved. And on top of the fact that they're not going to say that it has improved, it's actually deteriorated rapidly. The president, just a couple weeks ago, give him points for candor, told us what he's trying to do with the USPS, which is he's trying to monkey with mail-in voting to try to reduce it and to try to interfere with the upcoming election. So all that together yields the conclusion that these reasons that the Postmaster General has been giving, that he's trying to improve efficiency and trying to improve on-time performance, are merely pretexts for what appear to be changes designed to help President Trump at the polls in November. And that is the underlying concern that be the backdrop for the grilling that he's going to get on Monday from my committee.
You've questioned DeJoy's appointment. You've questioned his qualifications. He said today that he's done massive transformational projects for Boeing, for Verizon. He touted his commitment to public service. He said he has a plan for the success of the Postal Service. You still concerned that he's not up to the job?
Yes, and I circulated a letter along with my colleague Katie Porter talking about the selection process in which he was appointed. It was highly irregular, Jake. Normally, the Board of Governors contracts with an outside consulting firm to find the best qualified applicant and best qualified person to take over as Postmaster General, to remove the politics from the situation. However, in this case, Mr. DeJoy was actually pushed upon the Board of Governors by the White House. He was not vetted by the outside consulting firm or search firm, and he did not even undergo a background check. And that's why one of the Board of Governors members, Mr. Williams, actually in part resigned because of that. And so we're going to be exploring that as well with Mr. DeJoy on Monday.
Now, I know that the Postal Service is a service. It's in the Constitution. It's not a business. But DeJoy says that the post office needs to get its fiscal house in order, pointing out that the agency has lost $80 billion since 2007. Do you disagree with the idea that the Postal Service needs to make changes to help it become more financially sustainable?
No, I don't disagree with that. I think there need to be changes. For one, there's a pre-funding mandate on the Postal Service instituted in 2006 requiring them to pre-fund retiree health care benefits for 75 years, Jake. I was a small business person. I've never seen any similar mandate on any company in the private or public sector. And so that has to be changed. And also the Postal Service obviously needs some other reforms to make sure that it's sustainable. But in the lead up to the election, Jake, massive changes should not be made that would risk the election results and disenfranchise voters. That is one of the biggest fears driving so many of my constituents to contact me right now.
All right, Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi, Democrat of Illinois, thanks for your time, sir. We'll be watching the testimony and your questions on Monday.
Thank you so much, Jake.